What's the first rule for every time we go to a new place?
Always go to the bait shop.
Go to the bait shop for local intel. And that is what we are doing right now. Blue water outriggers, everything for your outdoor adventure. AJ, what you got?
Bait, we have our double drop on this one. We got the 1 bait, 2 bait, and then sinker. And then we're gonna double up with some of this fish gum that these guys told us to use at the bait shop.
Yeah. Heard a pro tip to take this fish tying string and tighten it around the shrimp so the shrimp doesn't fall off.
Holding the rod and filming, guys, it's not that easy. Alright.
Go kind of that way a little bit so they don't get tangled up. Got one, boys. You see him? You want to keep him?
Yeah, I mean, it's too tiny. I'm gonna go for a shoot one. I'll be right back. Is it dolphin or shark? Stay here.
Look at Eliza. Wow. So we are headed out for our second round of surf fishing. Get some pompano or some whiting. So here's what we're throwing. Got these pompano rigs, we got a swivel hook. They sell these rigs. It's a double drop. It's got a #1 or #2 hook with a bead. It's 2 of them, and then a 1 ounce weight is what we bought to hook onto the end.
You could do a 2 ounce weight.
You could do 2. We'll take a little piece of shrimp, edible shrimp, fresh dead shrimp from the grocery store, and then some of these fish bites, orange flesh, sand flea. And we take a little line and tie them on there. To keep them from falling apart. And we got 3 rods, 1, 2, 3, throw them out at various distances. That's our plan. Get
1 rod over there, 1 rod right here. My dad's about to cast one. Oh, yeet.
Pull them in, bub. Oh, look at that. Nice.
I only needed a double.
Look at that.
You think we should use this cut bait or eat?
Bring him over. See what he is.
I think he's a whiting. No.
Got those gray stripes. Use our Seek app. Put them down. I'll put this on him. It's a black drum.
Oh, it is. Yeah, look at that right there.
It is. There it is right there. Black drum. Not less than 14 inches. Well, so we gotta throw them back. Gotta be 14 inches. So. Let me get you a pic. So here we are, 3rd round of fishing, Cape San Blas in the Gulf. We got some really good intel today. We were casting as far as we could out there, walking out there, 30, 40 yards in the water and casting another 40 yards, being 75 yards off the beach, past all the waves. Well, we went and asked him, like, man, is that what we should be doing? He's like, no, you want to be right in the waves, like, 30 yards off the beach, because that's where those fish are getting tumbled and those sea fleas and clams and stuff are getting washed out, so they can, sand fleas get washed out, so all those fish are feeding on them. So we were overcasting. We've only caught a couple fish, and both of those were closer in. Normally we look for structure out there, a point, a sandbar, a break, a riptide pulling back out, but there's just kind of not any of that out here. It's just one big open, gradually sloping ocean. So we're gonna cast in a lot closer to the shore tonight, in the middle of those currents where fish are getting tumbled about. Specifically at the bait shop, the guy was like, man, you'd be amazed, some of the biggest fish I ever catch are in 1 foot deep of water. So we're gonna stay probably 30, 40 yards and in tonight. See if we have any luck. What's up? Day 3, hoping to catch some fish. Got a little rain, blood moon up there. Wind has died down. The waves are not crashing nearly as hard. So yeah, let's see what we can get into.
It's wet.
You already got one. You already got one. Stop. Don't touch that. Well, since the fishing is slow, I thought I'd go ahead and do our message for this trip. Hopefully the fishing will turn up, but for now we're going to talk about the gospel. So one of the things I like to talk about is the disciples. And a lot of people in recent years have discussed how the disciples were, you know, common men. They weren't doing great things. They were nobodies, and almost even a negative connotation. I've heard people say like, oh, they weren't good people, or they were not godly people, or they weren't this or that, and just kind of downplayed them. And I think that without a doubt, God equips the called. He does not call the equipped, meaning God will equip you. He will give you the strength. He will give you the wisdom in whatever situation you're in if you choose to follow him. But there's one verse, it's repeated throughout the Gospels, but look at it in Mark, because it's the first chapter of Mark, and it says, as Jesus passed along the Sea of Galilee, he saw Simon and his brother, and they were casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. And Jesus said to them, follow me and I'll make you fish for people. And immediately they left their nets and followed him. And he went a little further, and he saw James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John, who were mending nets in their boat. They were tying knots. Immediately he called them, and they left their father in the boat and followed him. So Jesus saw James and John. He's like, dude, those guys are tying knots. Have you ever seen someone tying a knot? If you see someone who's highly skilled in knots, you're like, man, I respect that. That guy is a man of means. He can do things. When Jesus saw them, it says he immediately called them. Why? Because they were skilled. They were capable. They were honest men doing honest work. And to make an argument that they were some great, you know, Hebrew preachers or studies of the word or incredible men who were advancing the kingdom, no. But they understood the assignment. They were doing what they knew how to the best of their ability, trying to provide for themselves and their family, working hard in life. And I think that's who God calls. That's who God calls, is the men who are doing the best in their everyday life. And a lot of times that's what living out the gospel looks like, living out a life for Christ, and whatever that is. Understand the role God has called you to and do it to the best of your ability. That assignment sometimes looks like being a student, sometimes it looks like being a dad, sometimes it looks like being whatever your profession is. Sometimes it's being a husband, sometimes being a brother. Understand the assignment. Know the role that God has called you to and do it to the best of your ability. Whether that's tying knots or being an electrician or raising boys. And I think God will honor that, and he'll use you in a powerful way. So understand the assignment. Be a mender of nets, a tyer of knots. Be a man of means. Reel that in, dude. Show me how to do it. Good job, man. Good job. Yes! What? Flounder! Yes! What? Yes! That's like a halibut or a flounder. Put the thing on the side there. There you go. Look at those two eyes, dude, on the side.
Oh, that's crazy.
That is wild, dude. All right, come over here.
Is he edible?
I don't know. It doesn't look like there's a lot of meat on him.
Let's go!
Yes, dude.
I was legitimately just thinking of fall. Oh crap, it's right here.
Let's pull up the seek. Just here. Southern flounder. Let's look on here. Grouper. Flounder. Here it is.
Does it say what size is it?
Minimum 14 inches.
He's not 14 inches.
Dang. No, he ain't 14.
Alright, well.
Hold on, let me get a picture of you. That is sick, dude.
I know that one.
Hold him up. Here. Hold him up with your hand. Alright, so we are switching it up.
We are driving out. There's this point about a mile or two away from where we're staying off the beach, and we can see it. It's just this little pier. And we're gonna drive down to it, sit up on that point, and then basically how it works is there's out in front of it, and then we got two sides. So we're gonna try to do like 1, 2, 3 rods on each side. This point is about a 2-mile walk from our beach house. We're gonna drive down to where we can walk. It's only a mile walk, so we got a hike ahead of us. It's not as bad. It's not a terrible walk here.
About a quarter-mile in, we talked to a couple fishermen. Some of them already caught. One guy caught 3 sharks already. What hurt? That is sweet. That's pretty. So here's the idea. We made it to this point. You can see the points out there. Right in front of us, there's almost no waves, because I think that's right where that deep pool is. You can almost see it like right here. It's real dark, and then it kind of is light brown, and the light brown is a pool right here. So we're gonna go to this point over here. You can see the waves crashing on the other side. We're gonna cast one right where the calm meets the crash. We're gonna cast one into this deep pool and then one out there that way and see if we can't get our hands on something.
Look at what I found, guys. This crane's got like the tentacles moving and stuff. Oh my gosh. Starfish, it was just right here. Dad, can you eat like starfish and stuff?
Hey, what do you think?
I'm cold.
You cold? Definitely the prettiest place I've ever gotten to fish. So we're out on this point, and I gotta tell you, we haven't caught anything. We're getting skunked. So we got that rod in the deep pool. We got this rod kind of, we're on this point. As you can see, waves break over there, then they stop, and they get calm, and eventually they break way over there. So I thought, one in the deep, one kind of in the calm, and the one where the calm meets the turbulent. The waves don't even know what to do. They're crashed both ways. As a dad, as a fisherman, as an outdoorsman, it's like, oh my gosh, that's frustrating. That's you just want to catch a fish. You research it, you watch videos, you read up on the internet, you get the local intel from 2 different tackle shops. Sometimes you just come up short. Local came up, he's like, "How y'all catch any fish up here?" I was like, no, I told him everything they're doing is like, "Ah, it's just the tide just ain't right." I was like, man, told him what we were throwing and doing, and still yet. He's just like, no, man, it's just, the tide just ain't right. So sometimes the tide just ain't right, but this is definitely the prettiest place we've ever gotten to fish. God paints a pretty sunset out here. Thankful to our Creator for giving us this incredible night. Just this point to ourselves. Pursue dominion, pursue the Creator. Peace out. Hold on. Oh, go ahead.
This is my best impression of what
Shoulder. This is
that one right there. We've probably seen over 200 of them.
adventure in its finest. Is we are in the middle of this beach. We haven't seen anybody. We've been walking. It's a mile and a half back, and we're walking, and we are seeing. Look at this crab. There's a crab. Walking back in the dark,
Seeing hundreds of crabs.
talking about life, talking about sports, talking about everything under the sun.
Ow!
Stepping on oyster shells. We're walking in wild places. We're living in wild places, dude. This is what we do. Walking miles in the dark on the beach, in creation, experiencing wild places. This is what we do. This is the Miller Creed, 10-year-old wild and free boy, barefoot, thanking our Creator the whole way. That's a Pursuit and Dominion creed right there.